UK, the Department of Work and Pensions decided that they want to increase the welfare benefits to people that have multiple wives. In other words, marriages where the man has more than one wife. Obviously, this is the Islamic people that have migrated to Britain. They want to increase their welfare benefits. So there's a lot to unpack there. First of all, anytime you incentivize a certain behavior, you get more of that behavior, right? If you're incentivizing a culture, obviously a foreign culture, to come there and basically pay them to just exist, you're going to get more of these people wanting to come in. And the fact that this is an individual with multiple wives, that's going to incentivize specifically that kind of person to come in, and they're going to have lots of kids because the government's just going to pay them extra money. Such a system shouldn't exist to begin with. I would have abolished welfare altogether to begin with because it's the government rewarding essentially failure. It's rewarding non-productivity. If you want to be prosperous, that is on you. That is your responsibility. That is not something the government can do. As a result, here in the United States, and I'm sure everywhere else, you have this type of system. Whenever you have a welfare system, you get some people that are basically completely worthless because they have no skills, because they don't work, because they're getting paid not to work. And they become very entitled, and they don't function as a person should, right? As a productive human being. So, that type of system, like I said, should never have existed to begin with. But now they've extended it to the immigrants that have come there, some of which certainly have no respect and probably shouldn't respect that type of culture, right? Imagine if somebody just gives something away for nothing. You're not going to respect what's just being given away for nothing because you're not assigning a value to it. And so, again, a lot to unpack there. The solution is obvious. We need to just get rid of the welfare system altogether, make it so that people actually have to be productive to live. If somebody is incapable of being productive, that's what private local charity is for. There's plenty of that. There's plenty of people that like to help other people out. Those type of people exist. But when you have the government step in, it dehumanizes that. And of course, you've got a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse in such a system. Not only that, but you got these egalitarian types, essentially, or socialists that are nihilistic. They don't like the previous system, and that's their way of destroying their system so they can bring in their communist utopia and all that garbage. So anyway, I'll put a link in the description below. I can rant about this for forever, but you get the gist.